So today we'll be taking a look at Alexa Bliss's target, Paige, what's going on with Mia Yim, and more. Let's start things off with this new report on Mia Yim. Mia Yim made a name for herself in NXT and had a solid fan base behind her. Mia Yim's call up to the main roster was a bittersweet moment because she obviously wasn't called up in her ordinary character. Mia Yim was called up as this alter ego in Retribution called Reckoning. Don't get us wrong, Reckoning was also a very interesting character. The problem with Reckoning is that they never did anything with her. Mia Yim's time as Reckoning basically just consisted of her standing by ringside for Retribution's matches. They could have done so much more with her. There was even a stretch there earlier this year where Asuka literally had no contender at all for the title. It would have been great to see Reckoning vs. Asuka during that time frame. But now, it seems like we're finally about to see Mia Yim's real debut as herself. Following the breakup with Retribution, Mia Yim and former Retribution teammate Slapjack were both sent over to SmackDown. It's still unknown what version of Mia Yim we might see considering what they did with T-Bar and Mace. T-Bar and Mace kept the names but switched up their looks a bit. So, will Mia Yim keep the Reckoning name or revert back to Mia Yim? That's what we'll have to keep an eye on. No word on what's being done with Slapjack, but there's some great news for Mia Yim. According to reports, Mia Yim was supposed to debut during the throwback edition of SmackDown. Mia Yim was supposed to appear to start up a feud with Carmella. The debut had to be cancelled reportedly due to time issues. WWE had to devote some more time of the show to show some old clips and stick to the throwback theme. So as a result of that, they had to delay Mia Yim's debut. But with SmackDown returning to normal, there's a real possibility that Mia Yim could make her SmackDown debut to start things up with Carmella as soon as this week. A Carmella and Mia Yim feud would be great because it finally gives us a non-title feud in the women's division. It gives Carmella something to do, and it gives Mia Yim a big name to work with as she officially begins her main roster career as well. So, that feud should do a lot for both women. Carmella just picked up a win over Ruby Riott, so she definitely has some momentum starting up again. It'll be the perfect time for Mia Yim to step in and start making a push to get into that title picture on SmackDown. Are you excited for Mia Yim's upcoming SmackDown debut? There's been an ongoing issue lately of random people pretending to be personal assistants for WWE superstars on social media. These people are obviously lying, but some fans might not know better and actually believe them. Shayna Baszler reacted to a message a fan sent her of someone acting like her personal assistant that was taking bookings and appointments to speak with Shayna. Shayna reacted right away and called them out for being fake. Well, now, the same situation is happening with Paige. Paige took to Twitter to address someone that was pretending to be her personal assistant as well. Paige talked about how she's receiving multiple screenshots of fans talking about this one user who keeps calling herself Paige's personal assistant. Paige called the whole thing a scam and begged fans not to pay any attention to all these fake personal assistants that have been popping up in recent weeks. So it's great that the superstars have been addressing this issue, trying to inform more fans about this situation. Don't pay any mind to anyone pretending to be a personal assistant to certain WWE superstars. Let's take a look at the latest update for Alexa Bliss and Lily. We had several weeks of Alexa's Playground, and some fans were starting to get burnt out because Raw's script seemed to follow a more copy and paste sort of style. So fans thought we were on our way of seeing another episode of Alexa's Playground, but thankfully that wasn't the case. We did get something new from Alexa Bliss and Lily this time around, and they actually came out to the ramp. This was a big 6-woman tag match, but the most important part there was that Alexa and Lily were on their swing set watching from the ramp. Alexa Bliss reveals that her target is one of the women in this match. So let's break it down and look at the new list of suspects. The possible targets are Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Asuka, Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Charlotte Flair. We can easily scratch off Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke, as well as Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler, due to the fact that all 4 of these women are in tag teams. so it doesn't really make sense for any of them to enter a singles feud with Alexa Bliss. That leaves us with two actual possibilities: Charlotte Flair and Asuka. Alexa Bliss and Asuka had a short feud earlier this year, but with Asuka no longer having the Raw Women's title, there is really no reason to go after Asuka. Charlotte Flair, on the other hand, seems to be more likely. Charlotte Flair was the one who picked up the win during that match, and the camera stayed locked in on Charlotte's reaction towards Alexa Bliss for a while. Also, throw in the fact that Lily was watching Sonya Deville last week, and that really made it seem like Alexa is coming after Charlotte. Sonya Deville basically grants Charlotte Flair anything she requests. So Alexa might be looking at Sonya and Charlotte Flair as two big problems that she has to handle. It really seems like Alexa versus Charlotte is what they're hinting towards here. Any other direction would be a big shock at this point. But it does make sense. Charlotte has been getting a lot of attention since she returned. She's been picking up these big wins nonstop, and Sonya Deville grants Charlotte any little thing she so desires. So maybe this is why Lily is focused on Charlotte Flair. Like we mentioned a few weeks ago, Backlash seems like the prime spot for Alexa to pull off something big towards Charlotte. Maybe Charlotte is unsuccessful in trying to capture the Raw Women's title and has to answer to Lily and Alexa Bliss right after that match. Or maybe even on Raw after Backlash as well. Charlotte Flair would probably no longer be in the title picture after Backlash, and that leads to everything with Alexa Bliss to kick off. If it is in fact Charlotte Flair, then it will be a fresh, exciting matchup. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss have only met one time in the ring, and that was from a champion versus champion match at Survivor Series from a few years ago. It was a traditional Raw vs. SmackDown match that Charlotte won, but that match never really had a serious story around it back then. So now, we get the opportunity to see that matchup again, with some actual story being behind it this time around. Alexa Bliss could have a lot of reasons to target Charlotte. Maybe Alexa Bliss does want revenge for that loss at Survivor Series all those years ago. Maybe Alexa doesn't like Charlotte and Sonya abusing their power. Or maybe Lily does view Charlotte Flair as being the top of the women's division, so Lily wants to put the whole women's division on notice by taking out Charlotte Flair. Talk about making a statement. If Lily can pin Charlotte Flair straight up during a match together, then that will really get Lily off to a great start. The Alexa Bliss and Lily stuff has a lot of potential, but fans of Bray Wyatt and The Fiend are fearful and have been here before. They know that if these writers couldn't get The Fiend right, what's really going to change for Lily? There's a lot of excitement for Lily, but there's also some fear that they'll start handling Lily the same way they handled The Fiend. And that's the scary part. A feud with Charlotte Flair is a promising start though, but Alexa can't just jump right into the title picture after that feud either. Fans agree that Alexa should rip through the whole women's division one by one. So let's hope it's not similar to The Fiend, where Lily is involved in the title picture during her second match, because that could be a bit problematic. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments, don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.